Hi guys, this is just an honest review on a product that I bought from a supplier at the bmfa Nationals at Grantham this weekend, and it is, steady my phone a bit, it's the EFX Racer by HOBBYKING. Right, what do you get? You get a box. We're not interested in the box because it's just a box, and you get the plane, which is in pretty much three sections: the wing, the fuselage, and the back tail section, which clicks together. So it's pretty simple, and you know, a bag of mashings, tools, props, and just little bits and bobs. What we're going to do, and obviously the instructions, what we're going to do is get to the build of it. It's pretty easy to build. The back wings just click together. Comes in two sections. They're two sections, and they just pretty much push in one way, push in the other way, and they click together. That's pretty simple. The wings it's a one-piece wing, two screws, pushes into the front, and that's pretty much it. The inside, you've got your two servos. All your servos are connected. This is the P&F version. Servos are all in, all connected. You have to connect your links to the elevator and obviously to the rudder. And you've got your, it's this side, you've got your links as well for your ailerons. Which are connected with, if you've got ball link pliers, you can, obviously better to connect them with ball link pliers, but I just did it with normal pliers. It's fine. Your props and spinners, which I looked at a review on YouTube, and they're not really impressed with these props and spinners, so I've gone for a nylon 6x5 prop. And that should be okay for the 2200 milliamp 3S lipo battery, which obviously, let me just turn this plane around, which fits in there with a tight fit. I'm flying this from a Spectrum DX6, so obviously I've gone for the A610 receiver, and this is where the problem becomes with these, I think. It's the inside of it. It's very, very, very tight. As you can just about see there, I've got my aerial running out across my wing, which is from the 610 receiver, but it really is tight. You just about see it. I'll point to where the receiver is, and that's where I've decided to put the receiver, and it fits between that pretty good, but it doesn't give you a lot of room for your battery, because if I just get one of my batteries, in fact I'll get the battery that I'm using, the lead on the battery is very, very long. As you can see, that lead is quite long off your battery, so obviously once that battery's in, you've got a lot of lead hanging out, and you haven't got much coming off this XT60 lead coming up. So when your battery's actually in, you've got a lot to fold over and tuck down, and it really is tight, because obviously when your cover's on, you want that to click together like that, and you're finding you're having to really shove the wires down, which I'm not happy about, but there's a way around it, and I'm sure you'll all find your own way of doing it. That's one bad thing I think about it so far. I'll just move this out of the way. Right, the other bad thing I thought was this particular model that I bought. It is obviously supplied by HOBBYKING. When I checked all my servos out, I've had to replace a servo because that servo was stripped. And I'm sure when you buy yours, you're not going to get a servo that's stripped. I was just the unlucky one to get the one that was stripped, so I've just found pretty much a mini servo just to put in, which is operating the elevator, that one, so that should be fine. The quality of the paint, ooh, Well, with all the messing about and fiddling around with batteries and everything, when I got my hand in this position, I noticed the paint was flaking off on this edge here, which I didn't think was great. I mean, it's supposed to be I'd have thought it'd have been a better finish than that, but what I've done, I've made this yellow version, because you get the red and yellow versions. I've made this yellow version a yellow and red version, and as you can see, I've just painted that across there with just some testing paint from your local DIY store, which is a matte emulsion, and that looks good. So, you know, from that view, it looks good, and you can always put your own little spec on it, whatever you decide to do. Let's turn it over. What I didn't like about, because it's only the 1100mm wingspan, I've decided I wanted to see it when it was high up, because obviously this is going to be an 85 mile an hour to 100 mile an hour bit of kit, and with it being so small, I wanted to see it in the sky. So what I've done is tip the ends of the wings, and also put these stripes in as well, so obviously when it's in the air I can see it. Again, that's entirely up to yourself. You can do what you want. It comes with a little plastic, I don't know what you call it, it's a protection little thing for the front of the fuselage for when you're landing. The only thing I'm not quite sure about is when you're landing these things, obviously if that was on the floor, as you can see, the prop now is touching the ground, so I'm not sure about your landing. You'd want your prop to finish in that position, so your prop don't, you know, I don't think it's going to damage it in any way. If you land it, I'm sure it's fine. I've seen plenty fly them on YouTube. It's definitely not, if you're learning to fly, it's definitely not the plane for you. This is definitely an experienced pilot's plane as well. If you want something that's going to be a trainer to get you in the air and learning, I would suggest the Apprentice, E-Flight Apprentice SE15, which is an absolutely fantastic thing to get you going. That's just probably at the back there. You'll just about see the tail of it in my hangar. I haven't maidened it yet. I'm looking forward to it. I'm still not sure of how to take it off, as in whether to throw it pretty much that way up, or to get my arm underneath and launch it, because I've noticed on the YouTube videos the takeoff of these are quite awkward to get round. But again, I will do a video on my maiden with it. I'm trying to think what else. Everything else is it seems to be, you know, great, you know, great little plane. I'm not sure about this magnetic. It seems okay, but what I've done, I don't know whether you can notice that laggy band there just on the wing. What I'm going to do is pull that over the prop, so the laggy band runs across there. So obviously at high speeds, that's not going to flip off, and you're going to lose it in looking for parts. You know, you've got to be thinking about these things. Yeah, it's a pretty simple build, like I said earlier. It's just pretty much bolt your wing all the way through, clip your back wings together, and then connect your servos. And obviously these come sticky taped on. Sorry, these come and you just press them down to sticky tape them on. That is like a protection, or for the air that goes down there. Very pleased with it. I'm just not impressed with the quality of the paint. You know, this shouldn't be peeling off here when you're handling around this position. You know, you expect a decent build. I mean, it's a cheap model, I suppose. I mean, what did I pay for it? 100 quid odd, you know, and you're in the air with a battery. Obviously, you've got to have your transmitter. Yeah, it's okay. I'll let you know how I feel when I'm maiden it. But they do come in the red as well. They are supplied by HOBBYKING. I've got a few HOBBYKING models. There's one, there's the S-Batch. Now that is fantastic. That is one huge S-Batch 342. I mean, that's pretty much it for now. I can't really say any more. You know, I've binded it and checked all the servos and checked everything working, the spinner, the prop and everything. On throttle, it feels like it has got some pull. So, and that's with a 3S battery in it, and I'm expecting that to go like a rocket. I would say probably 80 mile an hour. And the beauty of this plane, it will fly slow as well. So that's my little review. I hope it's as honest as I can be. There's a few faults, but overall it's a great plane. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll get the Maiden